Hey guys, we're super excited to be here at the LA Fit Expo. It's our third year in a row. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be launching a tasty pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs. And we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
Welcome back to Legendary Foods Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo and today is Tuesday, September 15th, 2020. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. Even though it's been a really strange year overall, one of the coolest things about 2020 has been the resurgence of women's bodybuilding. For the first time in years, we'll have women's bodybuilding at the Olympia. And for the first time in her career, Myla Ash will get to compete for the Women's Olympia title. After spending the entire first part of her career in women's physique, Myla surprised everyone when she announced her decision to cross over into the bodybuilding realm at the New York Pro. And it might have come as even more of a shock when she stepped out there and dominated. But that's how these things go. You have to seize opportunities when they're there. And that's exactly what Myla did. And now that she's less than 16 weeks away from one of the biggest opportunities of her career, it'll be fascinating to see if she's ready to answer that call. At different points over the years, I've told some of my clients that the way to do anything is the way to do everything, which is my way of just trying to stress how important it is for them to pour all of their energy and attention into everything they do. So, if you see how hard someone like Steve Laureus is working from a distance, it kind of lets you know that somewhere along the line, he managed to get the message. A few days ago, there was a video of Steve cranking out a set of T-bar rows floating around social media, where you can see how dialed into the details he actually was. He's the perfect example of high-level athletes who understand what it means to throw everything they have into perfecting their craft. And when you keep doing that over and over and over again, eventually the results start to speak for themselves. This is the cleanest I've ever been at 260. These words came directly from defending Classic Olympia champ Chris Bumstead, who's trying to put everyone else in the division on notice. It's well documented that Chris had been battling a bunch of nagging injuries for the last few years, including some issues with his knee that limited what he could do in the gym during the last year's Olympia prep. But the fact that Chris is healthy and lean and feeling good about where he is this far out from the O should say a lot about what he can bring to the table this year. Even with a few cards being shuffled at the top of the deck, this year's roster is still completely stacked at the top, which means that Chris repeating as champ isn't all set in stone. But if he shows up at Planet Hollywood looking better than he did last year, I think it's damn near impossible that we'll see him get knocked off his throne. Regardless of whether you're a bodybuilder or a boxer or something in between, anyone who's ever experienced what it feels like to be in a flow state knows how surreal it is to have everything clicking all at once. But even if you don't know that, you can almost get a sense of what it's like just from watching Hunter Labrada. Over the weekend, Hunter's team released a clip of their guy knocking out a set of rack pulls with 675 pounds for reps, where you can tell from the look on his face that he was operating at a whole different level. Out of all the athletes in this year's Olympia, to me, Hunter might be the most fascinating. It's not that I think he's ready to contend for the title, it's more so that the run he's been on this year has been so much fun to watch. So regardless of how this year's contest turns out, the fact that he's come this far, this fast, is still fascinating. And it's also proof of what a person can do when they tap into the right headspace. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions. And make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.